Following two big stories tonight, the devastating flash floods and search for survivors in central Texas. Nearly 80 people killed so far. And day 6 of the DC 33 workers' strike. Is the city and union any closer to reaching a deal? But we begin tonight with that tragedy in Texas. Tonight, the threat is far from over as more rain is expected over the flood zone, prompting new evacuations. This is a live look at Kerr County. This is where most of the victims lost their lives in the rapidly rising water. First responders are still searching for survivors, including 10 girls from a sleepaway camp more than 48 hours after the flash flooding began. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Sheba Russell. So far, rescue crews have recovered 68 bodies in Kerr County, where a 20-foot wall of water swept down the Guadalupe River. More than 500 people have been rescued so far. Authorities in that county say of the deceased, 28 are children. Nearly 30 more bodies still need to be identified. That summer camp we first told you about is on the banks of the Guadalupe. In addition to the 10 girls missing there, the search also continues for a counselor. Its director died in the flash floods trying to save his campers. And one of the girls who did survive explains what she did with her name tag, anticipating the worst.
And I just put it on just for safekeeping, saying in my head I was saying, if something does happen and I do get swept away, at least I'll have my name on my body.
Just so heartbreaking to hear. This time lapse shows how the floodwaters rose in a matter of minutes in an area northeast of Kerr County. Many rivers and creeks in central Texas surging 20 or more feet in less than an hour, leaving people little time to react.
Cars were floating away with the lights on. You could see the lights and you can hear honking. And there was like not one or two, but there were dozens of vehicles just floating away.
A fire chief is also among the missing tonight. Fox's Mike Tobin has more on the search and the heartbreak.
The search continues for the girls from a summer Christian camp still missing on Sunday after fierce flooding tore through parts of central Texas early Friday. Rescuers are searching damaged riverbanks, now scattered with broken trees and overturned rocks.
I had two granddaughters who were there, and they had 4 cousins. Thank God my granddaughters are okay. One of their cousins, Janie Hunt, is in heaven now, and God has wrapped his arms around her.
Parents who have been reunited with their children from Camp Mystic are sharing their kids' stories with local officials. Texas Lieutenant Governor recalling one of those extraordinary moments when a little girl escaped.
They climbed out the window in bare feet and nothing but a nightgown on in neck-high water. She said, I don't know how we made it.
The extent of the floods came unexpected to many of the residents and campers in the Texas Hill Country, a summer hotspot for camping and swimming.
The National Weather Forecast predicted minor flooding, minor event a day before.
Some are criticizing authorities, saying people in the vulnerable area did not receive proper warning of destructive flooding. Water in the Guadalupe River rose 26 feet in just 45 minutes, killing dozens and washing away anything in sight, including homes and cars.
There's going to be time to go review what can be done differently. What can you do to make sure that people have an earlier alert?
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has declared Sunday a day of prayer for those dead and those still unaccounted for. In Kerr County, Texas, Mike Tobin, Fox News.
And Kathy, making matters worse, more rain is expected for central Texas. Can you explain now that wall of water, how that even formed?
You know, that was such strong language that we saw the National Weather Service come out with over the past couple of days when this happened, that I've never even seen that said before about a flooding event. So we'll take you back to the radar. This was Thursday night when the rain started into Friday morning when the flooding just exploded. And you can see the flow is from the southwest. So we had a disturbance in the atmosphere already creating the rain. And it didn't have anything that we call steering currents, like a front to push it through. So it kept raining over the same area over and over again. So there were factors that contributed to this. So as we go back to the radar for Thursday and we start things over again, you can see in the location of Kerrville, right along the Guadalupe River, right along Route 10 here, when that Precipitation came up from the south, and then it just exploded. Look at those reds and oranges and even colors we haven't seen before, like magenta. And it really rained over several counties and areas and towns, about 10 inches to 15 inches in a matter of 12 hours, perhaps, or less. So that is how you got that wall of water getting squeezed into the Guadalupe River. So these were the factors. That upper level disturbance was spinning over the area, so that was already creating downpours. Then another factor, early in the week, we had the remnants of, it was Tropical Storm Barry that was moving through Texas and being fed into this area of central Texas. So you had lingering moisture from Barry on top of that, and then a low-level jet stream right over the region that kept feeding a constant stream of moisture right over that area that led to the catastrophic rain. So when you're talking about 10 to 15 inches of rain upstream, it all has to go through what we call a watershed. Where is it going to go? Into the Guadalupe River, and it's a ton of water being squeezed into a narrow area that expanded from a lake, or I should say a river, a waterway that people said you could walk across, into this enormous lake. That was just devastating, and obviously we saw the results, and they're still trying to look for folks. So just a devastating combination of elements that went into that event late Thursday into Friday.
All right, Kath. Yeah, still looking for dozens of folks tonight. We want to head to Fox's Anthony Antoine now with more on how the community is stepping up to help those who lost everything. Gosh, Anthony.
Yeah, you know, Sheba, it's such a heartbreaking story, and I'm right here along the Guadalupe River, and it's a little dark, but hopefully you can see a bit of some of the destruction here behind me. You can go anywhere pretty much in this community, and in Ingram and in Hunt, all along this river, and you will see the destruction. But there's another side of this community that I think is very important to show your viewers. You see, no matter where you go in this community as well, there's neighbors helping neighbors. It's early on, the heart is still broken, but it's that little bit of compassion in between that broken heart that allows that heart to mend. And day by day, we are starting to see folks be selfless and give back of themselves in a way that you don't see very often nowadays. Let's take a look at some video now. So earlier today, me and my photographer were just kind of driving around town, trying to find the people in the community giving back, and we didn't have to go very far to see it. We pulled up to the field house here at one of the field house basically services, the local high school and the elementary and middle school as well. But you saw the coaches there from all of those different schools working alongside each other to pack up the essentials. We had hygiene items, we had socks, we had juices, water, whatever it was. They were packing it up on a flatbed and then taking it over to Ingram and Hunt, two other areas that were hit very hard along the Guadalupe River here. And I caught up with one of the coaches and I just asked him a couple questions, you know, about why it was so important for the community to give back in this way. Here's what he had to say.
I've never seen a community come together quite like this community in such a needful time under such, challenging conditions. I'm always humbly surprised with people's generosity, but this is the standard here in the Hill Country, in Kerr County, specifically Kerrville and in the Ingram and Hunt areas. This is people taking care of their people.
Yeah, and we're going to see more of that as the days and weeks continue in this recovery effort. The city of Kerrville is working to put together a family care center where you can go and pick up items that you may need, and we'll get some more information on that once they flesh out those details. But for now, I'm live here along the Guadalupe River. Anthony Antoine, Fox News.
All right, Anthony, thank you for the look there. And here's how you can help. Join Fox's support of recovery efforts following the devastating floods in Texas here. Your donation supports the Community Foundation of the Texas Hill Country's relief and rebuilding efforts. Visit go.fox/TX flood relief, or you can scan the QR code right there on your screen to support the Kerr County Flood Relief Fund.